I'm Trek with 2Ks. Buenos noches, buenos tardes, GnGs. My name is Trek with 2Ks, and today is a Monday, and yeah, definitely been a minute. Well, more like a week, whatever. Throw it out early, like, subscribe, and share. Because I be just not paying attention to do or say that, but nonetheless. I am here. Last week, not even gonna hold y'all, or not hold myself really. Um, I had some medical stuff going on that day, and trying to be on the mic was not the move at all. So I had to let that one pass, and then just life out here, life in this whole government shutdown thing. We are what I think to well, assuming that whatever happened on Sunday night actually goes to where we get the vote and the signature that we need, even though it's just like a temporary what's the thing? It's like a temporary stay thing until January. Like we're gonna what was that 41, 42 days? I think today was 41 days. Tomorrow makes 42 days. But like, yeah, the internet is so abuzz with that whole scenario of what played out on Sunday night in the United States Congress. And I mean, it's not a crypto thing per se. But it's definitely affecting a lot of folks. And I know I am one of them. I am one of them. So yeah, life is out here lifing. But other than that, man, I hope that folks ain't at their wits ends just yet, because heaven knows how this is actually going to play out for the rest of the week. If it really was that, as some people are saying, the Dems basically kowtow to the Republicans, like the handful of Dems who crossed over, or is it that they were strategic in the play? But then, whatever. Like, if you're paying attention to it, you're paying attention to it. If it's affecting you, I'm just hoping we get a resolution soon enough so that, like, we can pay these bills and put, food in our bellies and keep the roof over our head. Because here we are in the fall, the colder part of the year, and it wouldn't be as bad if we weren't in this part of the year. But anywho, as you see by the title, I got a couple of things. Actually, no, not even. The title only hit like two of the like several things that I want to jump into. Again, this is what scratches my brain. A matter of fact, let me step back one. So if you don't know, the basic idea is I go through Twitter and I check out some of the people that I follow, as well as just looking through like the Discover Explore thing and seeing things going on in the crypto space. Some things are more obvious than others as how they relate to crypto, while other things are just on those like, all right, I've been around for a minute, so you can kind of see how things, revolve or connect around each other. And again, these are things that scratch my brain, and I put that in the context of I don't do price talk, and I'm okay with it. There are other folks out here who do that, and hey, like you, what is it? You are free to listen to or follow as you will, right? I'm just not the price talk guy. But nonetheless, let's jump into this. Like I said, I got a couple of things that oh no, that was not the one I wanted. This was the one I wanted. Scratched my brain and I said, you know what? Let me jump into this. Ah, that did not do what I thought it was gonna do. Damn it. Anywho, first joint is going to be, where you at? That. So, Reggie did something interesting the other day that I thought was a smooth move. For those of you who don't know who Reggie Middleton is, he's the primary patent holder on what he calls distributed technologies as it relates to like DeFi, and then you have it where I don't know if to say self-proclaimed godfather of DeFi, but his patent goes back to 2014 officially. Um, and so let me just get into the thing of what he did that I thought was interesting, right? If you see his videos, he's definitely doing the how am I saying this? The legwork with presenting what LLMs, aka AI, um, can do with asking questions or trying to like extrapolate a a higher level or a broader level or more specific level of answer based on giving it certain bits of information in comparison to like what the background training data is for it, right? So if you don't know, at this point we have how many different at least American based AI services. So you have Claude, you have Perplexity, you have Grok, you have Chat GPT. In the American market, you also have DeepSeek. And then I actually just started messing with this one joint. It's a Chinese joint like DeepSeek, but it's called Quen, QWEN. I just started messing with that like last week. But nonetheless, so what I thought was interesting, what Reggie did was because now Grok has a voice reback feature, right? And so he did this thing where he was like, all right, based on blah 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 patent, which is his patents, and how businesses work as far as if you are building your business based on a patent, how would you look at this industry as it relates to what this patent is and then what is going on within the space and who might have potential issue of patent infringement? Here's why I find this interesting. Because if you compare it to like um Chat GPT, which everyone talks about, a Grok to a Chat GPT, here's where I think it's a there's a distinction. Grok has near real time data of the crypto space in particular because we have crypto Twitter, right? I don't do we even call it crypto Twitter anymore? Or is it like crypto X? I don't know, but I still say crypto Twitter, right? So you have it that um Grok, when you ask it questions, it's going through X amount of like what's being posted, right? Excuse me, versus if you ask that same question to Chat GPT, it'll give you an answer. And granted, if you're doing like the paid or the free tier version, the and depending on like what specific model of reasoning that you're using, yeah, you'll get an answer. But is the answer as close to what you would get from Grok, which has like daily inputs of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of um of posts, Now, granted, there's probably maybe a couple thousand posts to read through that relate to Reggie Middleton, that relate to Veritasium, that relate to Smart Metals, that relate to his patent, right? So in my mind, how I at least see this, right? IMM in my mind, I think that Grok, in comparison to the other LLMs, could be considered the expert in regards to cryptocurrencies and the crypto space, right? And so with that, because like think about this, right? I think that AIs in terms of LLMs and being able to ask questions and stuff, that's the new tier or the new level or way for searching, right? So you remember when we went through that, like, I don't know how to exactly word this, but like there was a phase of where it was, hey, you can look online for this thing. We look online for it, and then we got to a thing where like, oh yeah, I seen it online, or like, oh, I was Googling this and I found out, or somebody be like, oh, well, how do you do blah blah blah, or what is X, Y, and Z, and you say Google it, right? Or like, oh, I found it online, or oh, you know it's online, or that's what's going on online. We give this thing of the internet in that phase, that 2.0 version of the internet, it's the you don't have to necessarily say that you were on CNN or that you were in Reddit or that you picked it up from Twitter. It was like the internet. And then it has this level of like, well, if it was on the internet, then you know it has to have some level of validity. In my mind, and how I'm taking this is because Grok is more of an expert because of it being integrated into the Twitter platform, and its information that it searches through is based on posts that are on the platform. It is more of the expert, which then leads and plays into this thing of where we are now, where it's like, oh, it's online, and now this is the AI that, oh yeah, well, the AI said that blah 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 blah, right? Because as we are progressing through the development of the AI stuff, like, is there still, the hiccups and the mistakes, and like, yeah, you got to cross-reference some of the information. Oh hell yeah, for sure, right? But at the same time, arguably, it was the same thing with just the regular internet. Oh, you saw that online, but yeah, that could be fake. And we talking like before deep fakes. We talking before, you had just like straight propaganda lie stuff online of like the level that it is now. And I'm talking like the 2010, the 2005, like those periods of like, oh, I seen it online. There's a level of unofficial authority that it gets, even though you could have the skepticism of, but it was online. How real is that? I think that he's playing into that direction. And I don't know if it's an intentional thing, because I even brought it up to him and I was like, oh, I seen what you did there. And then I explained exactly what I just said now. Grok is the expert as far as the AIs are concerned for the crypto space because it's directly tied in because of Twitter, aka X, where the other platforms that I named earlier, they don't have that same data stream. So I think it's going to be interesting going forward. And the other interesting part that I brought up to him is that anyone can also come up with their own set of prompt questions and get, I would argue, damn near the same kind of breakdown that he got. If you're a lawyer, if you're more of an engineer type, computer coder type, you can ask way more technical questions than what he asks in this post. But I would argue you would still end up with the same kind of results. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Like I said, these are the things that scratch my brain, right? And so that's where I went with that one. That scratched my brain, and I said, I'm gonna bring this up. I am definitely curious to see how this plays out, especially the other part too is considering what is going on within the regulatory landscape. At some point, this patent has to be addressed in the larger um economic and technology, like finance technology space. In my mind, this has to be addressed at some point in the bigger space. Because like one of the other things that Reggie always goes on with is like, just because y'all say, or we say, or I say that it's open source, it doesn't mean that there can't be patents on aspects of it. It's like, all right, yes, you have a car, but there are aspects of the car that have patents on it, right? So you can get into the locking mechanisms of the door have a patent on it. Is it just a simple latch? No, it's a key mechanism. There's a digital key fob to it. Like the vehicle is a general open thing, right? That's the open source part of it. Anybody can make the vehicle if you have the basic components that you need. But then when you start adding the additional features and functions on it, that's when you get into the patent part of it. And I'm like, all right, I understand where you're going with this, but I still do want to see how this plays out in the bigger financial space. Like I said, for what's going on. And I got a couple of things I'm going to touch that relate to what's developing out, especially with the Treasury Department and what is it? Litecoin has an ETF, and apparently the price went up. And y'all know I don't do price talk, but I was really just kind of surprised. Like, I feel like Litecoin, nobody talks about Litecoin anymore, but for Litecoin to have an ETF, that just surprised the shit out of me. All right, so let me so y'all see this picture here. Unless you're a hardcore Bitcoin person, you have no idea who this dude is. And I imagine there are definitely a number of people who have no idea who this guy is. And the reason why I brought it up, again, this is the IMM, it's the what scratches my brain in my mind thing. This is I hate 1999. He has been a Bitcoin core contributor for a number of years now. And so shout outs to her name. Charlene Federico, because she had shared it and I seen it on her thing, and yeah, you know, but nonetheless, like he is taking over BitTrust, which is a I think Nigerian based Bitcoin focused uh company, and they are looking to do some interesting things as far as the progression towards expanding the use case of Bitcoin in the African continent. And so I'm gonna throw that out there. Like, you know, we have a lot of folks, like my guy, my CPA, full disclosure, CJ the smart guy. He is back and forth and out there. Shout outs to Naja Roberts, because I know she's supposed to be out there soon enough. I think Charlene was just either there or in Ghana, but like folks are making moves out there. And I think that when we talk about Africa in particular, especially coming from like the Western position, and I'm not throwing shade per se, but the idea that Africans, as far as the folks who are on the continent who want to see better for their countries, their region, um, in the West, we kind of have this thing of like, oh, well, we know better because we're quote more civilized. Like we have because we have modern quote markets and modern technology, and we're a quote first tier country. We know better for everyone, and it's not just a quote white people mentality thing. It's a general Western thing, and we really more talking like Americans in particular and like Europeans, right? But then, you know, you can get into the shades of the hand thing. But just in general, I think that this is like I guess I can I might look to hold out, but in regards to that, like you are where you are and you know what the issues are within your community, and as opposed to waiting for the outside help or looking for the outside help, or not trying to find a way to solve what is your locally understood situation. I think that this is a good move for him. Um, and I'm hoping to see how this plays out. Like I realized too, I don't know how it's gonna play out in 2026, considering like 10% of the airport traffic in the states got messed up or shut down. And the ripple effects for that is definitely gonna go well into next year. Um, but I think I said it like maybe two or something episodes ago. Like I definitely got to get back on my like getting out and about and traveling. And I know too many people who making a back and forth into the African continent, and I need to get on my grind again to get back out there and talk to folks and like, touch the grass as they say. Uh but hand claps to this man for, making this transition. And I don't. Well, I guess he did take like step down fully from the Bitcoin core side of it, or if he was actually the one of the main like code contributors. But anywho, I'm getting lost on it. I don't know enough on his background. Of notes. Oh, you son of a gun. Yo, do y'all know how much stuff I done said that I ain't realized? Thank you, Prospector. I don't even know at what part it messed up on. Damn. And I was trying to make a certain time. That is just out the window right now. Oh, all right. Let me jump back. Let me jump. Right. I'm on the wrong window. Okay, that's what's going on. Never mind, man. I appreciate you though. So what I was saying about the Uniswap thing is Uniswap setting up to leave the retail market and try to get some of that institutional level money, because they see that that's going to be the bigger bag in regards to this whole thing about how they're switching around to damn, bro, don't even tell me that. Jesus Christ. And oh my God, no. Oh my God. Anyway, let me just finish this statement and then I'll like run back. So in my mind, there's a couple of things going on with that. So one, they're artificially creating scarcity for their token mechanisms. And two, I wonder if it's changing the revenue model for how that they're doing the burning thing, for potentially moving into the institutional level user versus sticking with retail level, even though like it's been, the DGens and day trader folks that have been on Uniswap for like how long? Wait, and aren't they making? I don't even know. Like, bro, I haven't touched Uniswap in. It's been a couple of years, bro, since I touched Uniswap. I ain't even gonna lie. So I don't even know what the interface look like right now. None of it, bro. I don't know what none of the new products are. None of it. But like this just makes me think they might be switching up the the fee thing, because they're going to eventually move from the retail level to the institutional, and focus on the institutional user base, right? So that's just a thought process on that. And also Uniswap, you could do how much like staking on this and that. Like again, that whole um you can stake anything. Stake NFTs, stake stable coins, the way that the Genius Act is gonna play out. Like it's just gonna be craziness, right? At least in my mind. All right, let me go back over here. And I was saying about this dude right here. And it like I don't know what the dude did, in regards to him getting arrested and having to be in prison and all that within Russia. But like, I'm just saying, like, they were unalived and found in pieces. You really had to like piss somebody off for them to have the gall to go do that in Dubai, because Dubai has a very low crime rate. It don't mean there aren't criminal elements around and organized crime. Again, it just means that it's a low crime rate in comparison to um other other regions of the world. Like, because like overall crime in those countries is like not a thing compared to like Western Europe and other places. But yeah, that's just really like it's sad and it's messed up. Like, damn, somebody was either really pocket watching you or you really pissed off the wrong person. And I can only imagine what the subreddits are looking like in regarding this dude's situation. I feel like there's a person or somebody or two that I could reach out to, be like, yo, did you hear about this? And like, what's going on? What was the other one before this that I was talking about? Oh, so the other thing to note was that Square, with Jack Dorsey, not damn, what was the name of the other place? Um, not Squarespace, but Square is now offering Bitcoin payments as an option to its vendors for customers who want to use that. And I was making a point. I don't know how much he stole, bruh. I don't know how much he stole, but like, as soon as he got out of out of Mother Russia, he said, "I'm out. Dubai, here I come." I was just saying, like, you gotta again. It's not to say that there are not criminal elements and organized crime syndicates in that region, but this type of activity, that ain't a thing like that, man. Granted, like whippings and stuff when you actually get prosecuted through court and beheadings is a real thing, but this, not really. But anywho, for the Cash App, well, yeah, for Cash App, for Square, they are now giving that option to its vendors, and apparently I seen another post that was talking about how there's a map option that would like show you vendors around you that accept Bitcoin. And I was making a point about how like back in like 2014, 2020, wait, where I'm trying to think of where I was. So I'm gonna say 2015, no, maybe 17. I'm gonna say 17, it might have been 16. The Edge wallet, Paul, they had on their website, they had a part where they listed like all of the vendors who was out there, online storefronts, everything. And then Jameson Lopp also had a section in his website. Jameson Lopp probably still has his section up, although his list is probably it's not I'm not gonna say it's old, because he actually does update his website. And like, if you want to know anything on Bitcoin, but then like also crypto in general, his site that'll take you like months to go through. It's so much information on his site, and he has a section on there that lists places. And I haven't been on his site in a while, but last time I remember, it was a section on there that listed all of the vendors that took Bitcoin. My point though, in relation to Square now doing this, is that it's like, yo, this is so crazy to me, because like, this isn't like it's something that was like 10 year, like this wasn't new in less than 10 years ago. We already had lists online of vendors, like it was hundreds of vendors across the country who were accepting Bitcoin. And then we went through the BS that we went through with the previous, plural, previous's or previous, no, the previous administrations, plural, and how they were cracking down on Bitcoin and the crypto space in general. And so here we are back at this now, where it's like, oh wow, this is so cool. This is a new thing. It's like, no, it's not new. It's not new at all. This isn't even a 10-year-old thing. But anywho, I just frustrated from being around too long and then seeing shit repackaged. And I'm not saying that to throw shade at Square or Jack or any of the folks who worked on that. It's just the general thing of like, people think that this is a new thing, and it's like, no, we had this already. Case in point to the other thing of, the technology works without the security apparatus on top of it for KYC. The technology works without the gate guards. You don't need to pay a fee to have someone else hold your KYC crypto for you, to then charge you for holding it and for every time you do a transaction. Like, yeah, man. Yeah. So this was the other thing that got me. And I'm not, y'all know I'm on this whole Yeah, in regards to what you're saying with the whole endorsing license, but it's just like, eh. I mean, if you made it on a list, or I mean, arguably, there was definitely sites out there that were like, "Oh yeah, this company, blah blah blah," but that's why you have the curated list, right? And granted, we have more better technology as far as being able to real time, like the data that Square collects from its vendors and how that data extrapolation is going. Like, yeah, they see some things and they making some projections. You know, it was a different thing back then as far as like, so like BTC Pay server was out, but it doesn't have the same kind of interconnection and data analysis setup like Square does. It was one of those like, oh hey, I want to run one. This is what my business does, or here I got this online store thing, or I'm selling stuff this way, and like that's how, you know, somebody said, oh, you know what, let's compile a list of these companies that do this. We didn't have the technology stack the way we have it now, but like the lists and the sites were out there. That's my point. That's all. So yes, the bells and whistles of it today are fancier or cooler, right? Or the technology is more intuitive, yeah. But like we had this back in the day. Is my simple point. All right. And again, not again, but getting to this other thing that caught me today was that I didn't know Litecoin had an ETF get pushed out, and apparently it did. You see the red and the green lines, y'all understand what that means. I was actually surprised, like, okay, interesting. I didn't know people still mess with Litecoin like that. I'm gonna be honest. Like, but again, I haven't been in the trader part of the space like that. Oh, damn, really? That's how you're gonna say it, Prospector? He just a face now? Uh. Um, but yeah, so like, and I seen a post, and what's his name? Andrew. Oh man, I can't remember his name at the moment, but he was like, "Yeah, I did it like what was that 12 years ago at this point?" And you know, I mean, of the early coins, Litecoin was definitely one of the more stable ones. Monero is also a pretty stable one too, as an early coin. It didn't have the crazy fluctuation. Um, hmm. I was thinking about that. You know who else was also good and had a low transaction fee? Wax. I am so disappointed in 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 Wax going corporate. Like I am so disappointed. Yeah, and I was like, yo, let me check this wallet out. Let me see what it looked like. I wanted to look at my NFTs. Website done. Can't see nothing. I said, ain't this a bitch? Anywho, yo, Litecoin Moses, shout outs to him. That man been holding on to Litecoin for as long as I've been following him on Twitter, which has been a number of years now. And so, I guess to say he's one of the true believers. It probably is a happy day for that man right now. Yeah, for the folks who had the faith, as they say. But yeah, hey, man, I don't even know where to look to see if I had any damn Litecoin right now. I probably done lost that wallet, forgot the don't even know where or what the wallet is, let alone the what the my seed phrase or any of that stuff is. Lord. Yo, when I think about the number of wallets that I've been through over the years, it just it is something else. But anywho, that's all I had. And that's just a repeat of what I was saying earlier about the Treasury Department and Scott Bassett saying what he's saying with the IRS about this whole like, oh yeah, we're now giving you a better permission to, stake crypto. Again, I'm still going to be on that cautionary tale that I think that the administration is playing around in our face, and it's not just an American thing. They're playing around in our face, and this financial engineering that's going on is it's going to be a rough climb up. Yeah, but they weren't doing like they weren't flashy though. NFT stuff was cool. Like once you, granted, it was definitely a little bit of struggle. You definitely had to like reach out to some people to figure out how to do some of the NFT things. Like me and 3D, bro. Like, yeah, man. Shout outs to 3D, by the way. Like we were doing some things on that side of it, but yeah. Anywho, the last point that I was making is that the financial wizardry that is being played out by folks like Scott Bassett and under the guidance of our commander in chief is just mind blowing. It's just really mind blowing because these like they say stuff and you're just like here's what really kills it in my mind is that if you are paying attention to people or platforms that are providing you actual news slash information outside of the Western, and I'm talking like the Western mainstream talking points. When I tell you the level of just like, oh shit, like what is going on here? Why is our stuff so far off the mark of what is being understood over there? It is mind blowing. It is mind blowing. Like, I think it was Bassett that said something like China agreed to do X amount of purchases of the whole, I think it's a soybean thing, or it might have been with something else, but it's a commentator. I forgot the dude's name right now that I pay attention to. But he was like, the CCP has not made any public statements in relation to a commitment on any type of purchase amount. So I don't know where or why. Well, we all understand why, because it's about presenting the good foot or the good face back to the home front, right? But I'm just like, wow, like that. This is, and I don't know. This isn't a crypto topic per se, but the point of it is that even for the things, case in point, blatantly like this, the staking thing, I think that what is being sold to the American public in particular. Hey, what's going on? You're funny. But I think what is going on with the things that he says, damn near the whole administration, the stuff that they say, like, again, if you are looking at outside the American or the Western mainstream narratives and like getting like somebody who's on the ground in someplace in Latin America, on the ground someplace in Germany, on the ground someplace in Africa or Nigeria, on the ground in like Australia or like Vietnam, like, and they're like, yeah, so this is what's being said here, and like, oh, well, I was just at this conference, or oh, like, well, this is the industry that I work in, and you're just like, wait, so why, what, like, the level of propaganda is mind blowing, and the disconnect is another thing. But anywho, that's enough of that ramble. Yeah, I had to come out and do this today because I missed last week, and apparently I messed up a fair amount of this episode. True. Chaos got rid of. That is very true. Your man is it's like he got a whole team of them though. It's like it's a whole team of them. And they just all be saying stuff where you're just like, what in the world? Who, what? But hopefully, this situation of the Sunday night vote actually amounts to something, and we get this shutdown thing over with. And yeah, because this is not the move right now, especially going into the holiday season, and people was already messed up from last holiday. So yeah, that part. Like literally saying things, and you're just like, well, when I go to the other party's website or like government, platform to see like what you're talking about or what you said, is like, nah, that they didn't say what you told us they said. What's going on? Why are we lying like this? But yeah, that's where we are right now. That is where we are right now. And hopefully everything go correctly. Me and my fellow gang folks get paid. Well, Thanksgiving. Yeah, ideally before Thanksgiving, but I don't know. I'm not getting before Thanksgiving vibes. Even though something happened on Sunday, I'm not getting before Thanksgiving vibes. But life is lifing. Outside of that, family's good, friends is good. Still got the roof over my head, the clothes on my back, and some food in my belly. And yeah, that's so wild, man. I be looking at it now, and it's just like, this is where we are. I appreciate, man. I appreciate. Thank you. Um, I'm not even gonna lie to you though. I don't remember all of the stuff I be saying. That's why I have to keep my own copy of these episodes. So like I pin them up on Twitter. I do my little, wrap up about it on LinkedIn for my takeaway. And like the stuff is posted here on the Gentleman of Crypto channel, and then it's also posted over on my actual channel. But like, I be saying stuff, and if you can't tell, I be rambling X amount of the time. So you're gonna see me like a year or two from now and be like, yo, you remember when you said blah blah blah? And I'm like, word, I said that? It sound like something I say, you know. But yeah, that's why I be keeping my own copy, because YouTube be on its own thing. But yeah, I keep my own copies because some of the stuff I'm gonna look back on and be like, oh yeah, I did say that. I'm like, damn, why did I say that? And I know some of the stuff I'm gonna be way the fuck off on, and some of the stuff it might be a nail on the head. It's just time is gonna tell which way I went. Like, you know. Wait, Neopolon did something similar in his day, even in the spread a word. He won. People believed it. Yeah. Yo, all right. This it, and then I'm gonna be done, right? Like, I want y'all to think about this right now. Tariffs are a tax, a form of tax. They repeated the line. Oh, listen. I don't know about a pardon, but we'll see. We'll see. The diary track. You funny. But to that point of like, if you repeat it enough, people eventually believe it. And if you control enough of the avenues of informational like touch points, like if this modernization of social media and 24-hour news cycles don't prove that point, that strategy, that tactic. And the crazy part is, like, he no, a tariff is not a tax on the people. And then the rest of the cabinet told the line. Other countries outside of the US just looked at us and was like, yo, are y'all really gonna take that? Wow, okay, you know what? Y'all Americans do what y'all do. And then now we see the prices of stuff doing what it does. We see industries where like manufacturing plants are closing down. Like, nah, we can't foot that bill. And if we try to push it on the customers, like the numbers, the math don't math. Yet the American public accepted that tariffs weren't going to do what they do and be an extra tax on them. Like, we still here. Yes, as CZ, I talked about this like the 2 weeks ago, the last episode. I'm curious about CZ's situation in terms of, does his pardon nullify any of the restrictions that he had to agree to when, like, all right, so like, you notice how, because Reggie had the same thing, Arthur Hayes had the same thing, Anthony Pomplianos had the same thing, where it's like, all right, you went through your scrutiny with, you know, this department, law enforcement side of it, and now that we've gotten through the court case, you have to stay away from this and this aspect of blah 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 business. Because if you look at what Pomplianos did, he took a 180 turn after his situation. If you look at what Arthur Hayes did, like, yeah, he stepped down from the company, and but I don't think he started that company that he talks about now. I think that's him tagging on with somebody. But I'm wondering if the situation with CZ, does the pardon nullify those restrictions in that particular like case, and like for the crypto industry? Because if you notice, he's not doing shit in the US. Like, the stuff he's doing is all overseas stuff right now. So is there either does it nullify everything, or is there a window of like, you have to stay out for blah 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 long? That's what I've been wondering. Yeah, bro. Listen, like, I've been watching this for a minute, bro. Like, I've been watching this for a minute. Like, I'm just, yes, and we look, yes, yes. I'm just saying, man. Like, and then with him, it's easy after he pumped the, yeah, bro. Come on, like, again. But everybody's like, oh, Trump. Now everybody on the band. Trump is pro crypto. Really? Is he though? Is he? Again, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, why do we need to add all of this extra stuff in if the technology works and does what it's supposed to do, right? So do we need to add all these extra gate guard people in? No. Do we need to add all of this thing in about, like, well, you can only do it, like, they're amplifying the space by pushing you through the main gate guards. And then at the same time, they're gonna make more money off of you by pushing you through the gate cards. Like, yeah. But anywho, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. I know I don't have the biggest audience, but I appreciate the folks who come through, chat me up, give me feedback. I take the criticism too, folks. Also to note, I appreciate the stalkers and the folks who are taking the time to actually put bots in the comments, because I guess the traffic works out well enough, to put the bots in, because like if it wasn't getting no traffic, and I'm not saying I'm over here making like thousands of views or whatever, like it take a couple of days to make like the 200-300, but at least I know things are moving, right? Because somebody took the time to be like, oh, let me add that to the bot cycle. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the lurkers too. Lurkers out there, I appreciate y'all. All right. It's a Monday, beginning of the week. Hopefully your day was not too crazy. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend and you got to either recharge the batteries, enjoy time with the family, take into account your health. And I'm saying this from the standpoint of, this year I've been really having to take more account of this whole health thing, just on the like being more proactive shit. Like that's where I'm at right now with stuff. Yeah, yo, crypto. Wait. Sorry, I just saw this. So, crypto. What? Crypto commandments. All right, crypto commandments. I don't know if you paid attention to Cliff High, then you paid attention to J Snip 4. How about his channel got reinstated? He's been off the main channel for 4 years. And if you go back as far as Very and Cliff High, then somewhere in that mix, J Snip 4 should have been there for you. If you don't know who I'm talking about, all right, it's cool. It is what it is. Wait, who said what? It's picked up for yeah. So again, I'm gonna tackle this last point in repeating what I said about what Reggie did using Grok to do an analysis of his patent and how it would play out from a business risk due to patent infringement, and then like he incorporated smart metal within the line of questioning that he was asking Grok. And I think that compared to other other AI, aka LLMs, Grok is an expert within the crypto space because of the data stream that it is locked into in a more real-time flow in comparison to a Chat GPT or a Claude or a DeepSeek or a Quinn, which is QWEN. That's another Chinese LLM that they just did some interesting things too. But like compared to like Perplexity and all that, Grok I would consider to be the expert in the crypto space because of its data source. And I think for what Reggie was doing in terms of let me ask this series of questions without actually prompting for a specific answer, but just open-ended questions, LLMs are going to get into the unofficial, oh, I found it online category. Like, remember back in the early part of the internet, and people are like, oh, well, where'd you hear that from? Oh, it was online. Oh, where'd you see that at? Oh, I saw it online. Oh, wait, how'd you know about this? Oh, it was on blah, blah, blah. And you name whatever social media thing it was. AI is going to get that status. And nobody's really going to call it that, but that's going to be because of how we're going to end up using it. Just like how it'd be like, yo, just Google that. Oh, I Googled this the other day. LLMs are going to get that same thing. And I think as we move further, as opposed to this thing of trying to have it be able to answer everything, which is if you are messing with LLMs now, aka the AI stuff, what you know is they're starting to introduce this thing of where they're feathering out into specifics of like, this is what this one is good at. And they're making the models either be like they're more not custom, but they're more focused in certain types of tasks. Like Claude is good at coding. Um, um, Grok is better at giving you stuff as far as like how do you look at public sentiment because its data source is Twitter, right? Um, Damn, I'm about to go on a ramble, but I'm not because I'm done for the night. It's already after 11, and damn, I'm already at 125. Lord. All right. I'm gonna show these last couple of things just to, shout these folks out. And again, I appreciate y'all for the comments and stuff. I feel like at some points, like it's either I gotta do a later show, which I be or it's like figuring out how to get in earlier. Cause I swear some days I really be trying to like, let me start at like 7:30. And then next thing I know, I'll be looking on what I'm looking at on Twitter or something else. And then next thing you know, it's like 5 minutes to 9. And then here we are. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Prospector, Crypto Commandments, Only Bitcoin. Thank y'all, man. I do appreciate. The heck is yeah, is that, and then who said the next thing? Oh, I don't know what I did. See, and the way that this is set up, I can't even see. I thought I might have bumped it by accident. I think that's what happened before because I had spilt water and it like kind of made me jump. Listen, um, so the bots thing, yeah, that's like kind of an indicator. And I remember when Instagram, my stuff started getting messed with at Instagram with the bots and stuff like that and the fake accounts. And I mean, if I went back on the tier like I was doing in like 2020 and 22 and stuff, the bots would probably eat me up on Instagram because like I barely look at my Instagram accounts now, like barely. One of them I haven't touched in like more than 6 months. Like I said, like this year is me like dipping my toe back into this crypto thing because last year, man, I was definitely just out of it. And so, slowly trying to work my way back in and like trying to figure out how to deal with the channel. Wait, which part? Yeah, Bigs, Bitcoin. Yo, Bitcoin Ben got a whole thing going on in well, Ken is doing a thing out in Vegas, which is connected to Ben's thing. There's stuff happening, bro. Like it's interesting to note where that era of folks are right now. And like I said, Jason at 4, like I listened to his thing the other day and what he was talking about, like that's just been going on with him since that man, like he's had some life in things, but like life is also doing well for him. Like things are going well for him too, but he has some near life scares. Um Wait, what was back when? I missed it. Oh, never mind. All right. Yeah, sorry. As I said, it's a Monday, beginning of the week. Hopefully you recharge the battery, say got some time to yourself or got time with the family. One of these things, if both of these things worked out for you. And so as I say, from one human to the next, the best that I can wish for you is to be in a safe place, in a safe space, and in good company. And so assuming nothing happens, I will catch y'all next Monday Yo. Yeah, Ben in the truck. Yeah. He's come a long way from the truck, my friend. A long way from the truck. I don't think that man has touched the road truck wise in a hot minute. But yeah, y'all have a good night, man. I'll check y'all. Where are you? No. I'm Trek with 2Ks.